We love it. Keep doing it. Stay engaged with us, and thanks again for checking out this edition of your West Wing Week.
If it wasn't black tie, I would have worn my tan suit. I thought it looked good.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A summary of what happened this past week in the White House. We normally brought that to you every Friday in the Village here with Anselm and Marjorie. But since Marjorie joined us,
stop doing the regular stuff. Huh?
Yeah, we
Don't stop regular.
We gotta get back to doing the regular stuff that we did here in the past.
I can handle regular.
But you know what? I want to play this song, Marjorie. This is like, you know.
I thought we were talking about something. Now you want to play a song.
Yeah, we play one. Try to play.
Okay,
at least,
get regular Friday. Then I'll just chill,
regular Friday.
Water.
No, but we want. I want to play this calypso for you. Because the reason why I'm playing this, you should see your face now. For all my folks in Trinidad and Tobago, whenever I try to,
because I'm from Motown, that's what makes sense to me. I'm sorry. But we're the meeting of minds and cultures.
I love Motown. I love Motown.
No, it's Motown, not Motown. Okay, get it right. Don't be messing with.
There you go. What's his name again? Barry. Barry
White.
Not Barry White.
Oh, Barry Gordy?
Barry Gordy.
Yeah.
That's the guy that made Motown famous.
I'd say the musicians made him famous, but...
No, he brought those musicians and made them famous.
Yeah.
Okay. He made them famous.
Yes, he did. Regular old talent.
Yeah,
growing up like that, I thought all music came from Detroit.
And those were the best songs, man.
They were. Nice, plain, simple, beautiful beats.
Yeah,
just wonderful.
We're going to get a few of those songs tonight.
Yes, let's get some
Absolutely.
Motown.
But a few days ago, you had talked about something about Columbus. Because you were talking to your kids about Columbus.
Okay.
And that's where we were looking at the Indian Sea. And
the Indian Ocean, yeah.
Yeah, the Indian Ocean, and that Columbus headed in a certain place, and he thought he was in the Indies, so he called it the West Indies. So
he just called it Indies, and then the map makers called it.
So this
West
guy
Indies.
in Trinidad made a song called Columbus Lied.
Ah, okay.
So
all right, it's got some historical.
I hope you could try to
appreciate
it. So here is a guy by the name of Shadow made this song called Columbus Lied. Here it is. Take a listen.
Find the words.
And he called it the West Indies. He said he found a new world, and he expect me to believe. But how could this world be new when it's much older than Adam and Eve? Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied, lied, lied. He said as brave as a man can be. He sailed on to Venezuela for another discovery. He said he discovered new lands, and he thought that I wouldn't know. He discovered a lot of Indians who discovered the lands before. Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied, lied. North America, he discovered the West Indies. The same place they sent me for fathers and subject them to slavery. Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied, lied, lied. He said he discovered the whole of America. He never tell nobody how he had to run from Apache. Columbus lied, Columbus lied, Columbus lied so bad. I believe Columbus was mad.
So we are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm Marjorie on the South Orange Mayfield Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. So Marjorie, do you think Columbus was telling the truth?
Yes, I think he told the truth.
What?
He told the truth. Well, okay, did he lie? I don't think he... The way it's been taught to me is that he died actually believing he went to the Indies. So he was just ignorant. I don't think he said, I reached India or the Indonesia or those islands. I think he died not knowing that he found a new world. Yeah.
You know, I wonder about you sometimes.
No. I think the story of Columbus is a lie, that he discovered America, found the Indians.
So the historians made it up. So the historian lied about what Columbus actually did.
No, I mean, the information is out there because he had a diary, kept a diary, which said,
So why couldn't he have made that up too?
What, the diary?
Yeah.
No, the diary says that they found these Arawak people.
The Caribs and the Arawak.
Yeah.
They were all same people though.
Yeah.
Columbus
he said
just
that
divided them.
he didn't, I don't know what, they called themselves or what he called them. He called them Indians, right? He said, I found the Indies and these are Indians.
Carib and Arawaks, they call it in the Caribbean.
I know, I understand, but I'm saying that he thought
they were
he was in the Indies with Indians.
Yeah.
And,
So how could he be discovered them and they were there before him?
It's a discovery for the sake of the European. It's not a discovery for those people. It's not like saying that they didn't exist. It was a discovery for the European. I mean, there's so many things that are messed up about this. Wait a minute. There are things that are messed up about the story. Mm-hmm. So you get this guy. He did come with his people, and he left a lot of these sailors that he had here. Who
and a lot of pilferage as well, a rape and all that other stuff.
And he took some of these natives back to Spain. How many of them? A lot of them died. They weren't used to this mess, or the mess that they imposed on them. And he says they're going to make great slaves. They're good people. They're kind, and it's going to be easy to enslave them. And there's all this gold there. So the second time he came with all these ships and all these men, and he saw that one island, some of the Spaniards that they had left behind were killed and murdered because they had mistreated the native people so badly, and a lot of them were dead because these Spaniards were killing those people. So the population in the Caribbean went in like 10 years' time, I think. I mean, the charts are easy to find online. I use them constantly. But in 10 years' time, the population in the Caribbean went from 10 million to 1 million people. I mean, they slaughtered that many people.
Columbus and his band of merrymakers, right?
Well, him and the Spaniards that he brought with him, yeah.
They were killers, rapists.
But you know what?
They stole.
Yeah, but let me.
How did the English get involved in that to own all these land in the Caribbean? They were just as bad as Columbus.
Let me add something though. I was reading this book, The Slave Trade, and it was about.
As you say that, I used to recommend a book of the week too.
Okay. Well, we can,
We got to get back to that.
Yeah, but that means we have to be able to read each book.
No, I read all the books. The book, okay. a book of the week. Yeah.
And I was reading, just excerpts from this book, and there were these things in Spain, these public events called Auto de Fe, AUTO. DE and then FE, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And it kept mentioning it, and I looked it up. Mm-hmm. And there would be these public burnings of people in Spain. I mean, this was what they did. So, if you...
They burned black people? Or just
no,
anybody?
They burned each other.
They burned each other?
Yeah, so...
There's really no black people in Spain, right?
Well, I mean, there were the Moors there and the Arabs. So, if during the Inquisition and even after that...
Arabs consider themselves black?
I don't know what Arabs consider themselves now.
But I said it was black people. You said it was the Arabs and the Moors.
Well, we're looking at Spain touching North Africa.
I mean, I think the Moors consider themselves black.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know about the Arabs.
I don't know about them either. But they were whoever, if they were Muslim and they weren't Christian, and if for whatever reason, that these Spaniards would have, these mass burnings. I mean, there's no television, just like the Romans in their Colosseum. All of the all the like evil and bad stuff that
does that have anything to do with the Basque Country?
I don't know about the Basque.
Yeah, because when I was in Spain, I was in San Sebastian, Spain, and there was this place called the Basque Country, and they said those guys are like the toughest, the most military people you can find in Spain. They live in the Basque Country of Spain. Yeah, Basque.
So, but all I'm saying is that, one thing in studying history, it's all about the interpretation. And in realizing that the things that happen to people, the Africans that were brought here, the natives that were killed and decimated their populations. These things aren't anything that they hadn't done to each other and themselves. So for them to come and do that to people, from other places, I mean, it's not inconceivable. So when you say, well, look what they did to the Indians and look what they did to black people and but they did these kinds of things to each other.
But they did the same thing to the Indians in America, too.
Yes, I know. But I'm saying that this is not like it's something that was only... All I'm saying is that it's not new. It's really a lot about the interpretation of history. And it depends on who is telling you the story. It's who's telling you the story and how the story is told.
Well, I'm not sure if it's an interpretation or a misrepresentation. I think it's more of a misrepresentation. I think what happened is that...
But Anselm, if somebody would say that I was misrepresented, I'd give you an example. So here we're talking about political revolutions. We're starting with the French Revolution. And, to get this idea of revolution, dramatic change, or political revolution, dramatic change in government, and then, it's like from something to something, from one form of government to another. And then, so in one class, they say, well, what is government? This is cool, because I teach the same thing 3 times. And so each time, especially with the honor students, it keeps getting deeper and tweaked more. So every time you get to it, the next time, you get... So what is government to define that? And then there's what are some governments? So they should have learned that. And the 9th grade, great, let's go over this. Well, there's monarchies, democracy, dictatorship. None of them know about a republic, the one that they live in. Theocracy.
No, that's a damn democracy.
Yeah, yes, we live in a democracy. I'm like, really? Okay, well, we're not going to get into that. And then I says, okay, well, hold up before we do this. Well, what's the difference? What is a dictator or anything, And they'll be like, well, somebody has total control. Yeah, they run everything. And it's like, well, is a king a dictator? Then just like see them like.
What are you talking about, miss?
A king can't be a thing. You sound like them.
What are you talking about, miss?
Well, no. And then somebody will say, well, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, why do you say no? Well, because I said, well.
He's run by the queen.
Happy queen, happy life. And I'm like, well, is that a dictator? I mean, how many people? I mean, so you have an absolute monarch. I am the state. It begins and ends with me. Is that a dictatorship? Well, Miss So-and-so, I says, well, I want you to think about it. And then, of course, you'll get that.
This is your AP class.
No, these are my 10th
This
graders.
is the regular level.
These are the regulars. No, well, like, I have 2 honors and then 1 regular.
Okay. For the new listener, she's talking about a class. She's just a astute teacher.
This is just work stuff.
And, yeah.
So, then I was like, well, what do you think? Is that it? And then, leadership. And my understanding of that idea of a dictator.
No, they're going to tell you Cuba.
Okay, but wait a minute. Oh, I said name a dictator.
Cuba.
And no, that's not the one that they like.
Ethiopia?
Oh, come on. You don't know what every kid likes talking about.